Let's get it. But look, we got to go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen. The Washington Commanders are going. We're going to the Mile High City, ladies and gentlemen, Denver, Colorado. Which, as you know, if you're any fan of the college football world, Colorado is on fire
Place
right
to
now.
be.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think our we have a guest, and I think our guest will agree that maybe the Colorado ticket is a little bit more expensive than the Denver Bronco ticket right now. Oh, I got to shout out my homegirl and one of the hosts of Let's Talk Football the Round Table, Tina Winter. What up, Tina?
Hi guys.
Hi, Tina.
um, I would say yes, but the thing is like there's a 15-year waiting list for Denver tickets. So
True.
I mean,
Yep.
it's always one. They're sold out almost every year. But yeah, Colorado is balling out right now.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be an interesting one. I like Sean and I have talked. I don't follow a lot of college football, but I'm definitely following the Buffs this year.
Everybody
And
is.
when I can catch the NIU game, which we're playing Nebraska this weekend. So I have a feeling Nebraska's going to be a little pissed.
Yeah. But maybe you guys can get it done. You guys, who's your quarterback? Isn't it Rocky Lombardi?
Yeah, it's Rocky Lombardi.
Michigan State quarterback. Oh yeah. Maybe he can do it.
It's his last year, so we'll see what happens.
Yep.
They lost to Southern Illinois by a field goal last week, so I'm not really.
Oh, let's move on to something that maybe might win in the next couple weeks. Our Washington Commanders play Tina's Denver Broncos. We know what happened last week in your first game.
Yep.
You came up just short, lost 17-16. You know what questions everybody asks. Is Sean Payton the answer? Is Russell Wilson, is he back? Is he going to be able to do it? Talk to us about your team coming into this game and who we need to look out for.
I do think Sean was a good hire. I was kind of on the fence in the beginning, but the offense actually was moving the ball. They were getting it done. And there's some people that were complaining that we didn't have a lot of long balls, but Judy's out. We lost one of our number one wide receivers. And also I hate to say it, but the safeties for the Raiders are kind of good. So I think the game plan this year was to do the dinks and dunks and just keep the ball moving and keep it going and trying to get Javonte back in and trying to get Perrine to keep going. And also, what are we doing with Mims and a few of those guys? So I was okay with the offense. There was one throw that Russell had that he threw at Cortland's feet and it hit the ground. But other than that, I thought it was okay. I mean, it was an improvement, definite improvement over last year. So, defense, I was very happy with them. I mean, we kept Josh Jacobs to 66 yards.
Yeah.
And usually he runs over he's been getting 100 yards plus every time we play him. The other thing is we kept Devontae under, I think he was also under 70 yards too.
Yep.
So
6 catches, 66 yards. Yeah.
Yep. So I think there's some people in there. I mean, Zach Allen has made a difference in our run defense. He's the guy that we got from Arizona, which I think also helped you guys in your game.
Thank you.
He wasn't there.
Yep.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's see who else. I mean, our pass rush, I think it's going to start getting there. I mean, it's to kind of go back to the offense. PFF gave Jimmy Garoppolo a 107.8. Russell had a 108.
Oh,
that shows you how close that game was.
Yeah.
We had some problems when Caden Stearns went out with his injury. Yeah. They brought in Damari Mathis, and they were pinpointing him, and Jacoby Myers took every advantage of that. So,
Corner. Okay.
yeah.
How did Surtain look?
Surtain, I think it's something like 6 batted passes, and he didn't allow Devontae to have a touchdown.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So he was definitely shut down. It's with all your corners and your safeties. They're going to have great games, but they're going to have that one play that they blow. And there was one that he blew with man coverage, but that happens. So, But I was very happy with Surtain. And I was actually generally happy with the defensive line. Offensive line is a little bit more to gel, I think. So
I want to learn a little bit about that, because look, we'll start with defense. And I'll be honest, I don't know all the guys on your roster. I don't recognize some of these guys on your roster. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's that could be just me not knowing things. But so the Commanders' strength is our passing, our wide receivers, tight end Logan Thomas. Our weapons are through the passing game. Our concern is our offensive line. So talk to me about your defensive line. You said that they impressed you a little bit. Tell me who, Zach Allen, you've already kind of mentioned, and talk to me about your secondary, talk to me about your defense, and who do we need to be concerned about? And also then what are some matchups we may want to be trying to exploit? You kind of mentioned Damari Mathis already.
Okay. So Damari Mathis would be in our cornerbacks and our safeties. That's also where we have Kareem Jackson, who we got from Houston. Our secondary, I do think, is one of our strengths right now, but with Caden Stearns going out, there's a situation there. And I do think that's a situation that your guys can exploit, depending on who they're throwing to. No one ever throws to Surtain unless they have to. That's just the way that it is. They avoid him because he's good. And he gets interceptions and that. So then to kind of bring it back to the line, the edge rushers are we have Randy Gregory. We also have Jonathan Cooper, who has been on fire out of the preseason and also this year. He's turning into a pretty good one too. They moved Barrett Browning from a Mike to a pass rusher, but he's injured and he's not going to be back for a couple of weeks. So I got a little lucky on that one.
We'll take it.
The run defense, in addition to Zach Allen, there is Alex Singleton and the other guy's name, who I should not be. We've had him since we drafted him from Iowa. There's another guy in there that he's really good too. So run defense, wide receivers, and that's what I saw. Like you guys have got some really good wide receivers. So that's going to be a matchup to watch right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Talk to us about Russell. So let's everybody has their opinions on who he was when he came from Seattle. Was traded from Seattle to Denver. We know the year he had last year with Hackett and how hard that offense is. He's got Sean Payton now. He completed 24 passes. He looked good. You talked about his PFF said it was 108, but he also had under 200 yards. But had the 2 touchdowns. Is he that threat that he used to be, or is he a game manager now?
I think Sean's the game manager. Sean has actually come out and said he's going to be doing more 12-man options. There's not going to be 3-4 wide receivers out on the field anymore. It's going to be a couple of wide receivers with some tight ends and the running backs who might run the slot and catch some balls and things like that. So could Russell be more of a game manager now? Yeah, but he did show he threaded the needle to that, scored a little Jordan Humphrey in the back in the back of the end zone. That thing was just, and he did take a couple of attempts to throw the ball. But come on, the guy's been in the NFL how many years? 15? 10, 15?
Oh, wow.
He's getting older. He's got to. That was the reason why Hackett's system made sense to him, was it was trying to turn him into a pocket passer. But let's just admit it. He's not a pocket passer. Right. He is the option running it around. There was one. that he tried, I forget if it was Perrine or if it was Javante. There was one ball that he tried to toss to one of them. If he just ran it, he would have had the first down.
Mm,
So
thinking too much.
he's thinking too much. And it's a new offense. It's a new idea. And we got some growing pains. But I saw a lot there that I liked. So, and you guys were talking about your defensive line and stuff. So, I mean, based on what I didn't watch the game, but I was reading up on your guys' game, and it sounded like you guys were kind of hounding the quarterback too. So there's going to be that issue. But we were also playing against Max Crosby last week, so he was hounding Russell
right.
Yeah. He's used to it.
I mean, I joke around and I say they don't have a defense other than Max Crosby, but I mean, Max Crosby in and of himself is
right. They're in your division. They're in your division. What would you expect? We talk ill of Cowboys. I called the Giants trash the other day. You know, it is what it is. Will, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I want to hear about, you just mentioned, so again, our strength on our team is the defensive line on defense, but your offensive line, you guys have been beefing it up the last couple of years. You've spent some money. You also drafted a dude that I'm really curious to see how he's been performing, because he came from Wisconsin Whitewater, maybe. Was it Quinn Miners? He's a division.
Oh, Quinn. Yeah.
So how's the offensive line? How's that matchup going to be on Sunday? Is it, you said they struggled on Sunday in the game against the Raiders, but is it more of it as just first games, and is that something that who do you think's got the advantage?
Games. I think they're going to continue to gel because, so you're talking about McGlinchey and Powers, who we acquired.
Yes.
They did make a definite difference in the system and in terms of beefing up the middle. So then it's become towards our outsides. And I love Meinertz. He's hilarious. Great guy. He actually made a huge difference last year in what we had on our offensive line, but it was still kind of bad. The one that is actually, I think, turning out to be the weaker is Garrett Bowles. And he's the veteran that's been on the team since he got drafted. In the preseason, he was not doing well. And I think that had to be because he was used to playing with the line, and this new line coming in, it took a little bit. It's taken some for it to gel. Bowles, normally when he's not playing comfortable, he gets penalties left and right. It's either holding or something like that. And he didn't have one of those. So it's good. I think that's a growing pain situation. But in early games, and especially a team like yours, which I do think is better than what we played last week, it's gonna be an interesting game. It'll be I'd like, as long, I hate to say it, but I'm one of those that as long as we can win one more game than last year and make progress, I'm okay. But
so here's a question that I had for Sean before we got on here. This is what I'm going to ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think, because I'm impressed with your coaching staff, all right? Obviously Sean Payton and what he did in New Orleans. Joe Lombardi, when he was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, torched us in his first game as an offensive coordinator. So, and he came from Sean Payton. So they have some continuity there. Was it Vance Joseph as the defense coordinator? You've got some talent there. Do you think Sean Payton took this job because he wanted to resurrect Russell Wilson, or because he's looking at the draft next year and building a new franchise?
I think both.
It's like win-win situation?
Yeah. Because the Walton Penners, they spent so much money on bringing over Sean Payton. There's no way they would fire him after 1 year. It's not going to happen. So I think he has both. He's being given the chance, and he probably, you all heard about the rumor that came out that he told Russell to stop kissing babies because he's not running for president. This is Sean looking at Wilson and saying, you want to continue to play after this year for us. Let's do the work. Let's work it out. Let's get it going. And I think it's there. But I think losing Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, Jerry Judy.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Johnson was on injured reserve until right before the preseason. Like, that's just 4 wide receivers right there.
Yeah.
So going into this game, when you don't have Jerry Judy on one side and Cortland on the other, they're going to always go towards Cortland. And then the guys behind are younger and they're new. So who's going to play the slot? And Judy doesn't play slot, but Judy can juke like nobody else and get guys to go.
If he's on the field, he's a threat.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Which he had limited practice today.
Oh. We don't need him back. Come on, take your time getting back, all right?
Yeah. Rest
that
yourself.
was the thing. He wanted to play last week. He really wanted to play. And they told him no. They said, no, you're going to sit back. You're going to rest some more. So he may be there. He may not.
Huh.
So it'll be an interest. It might be a Sunday call. So, and unlike Hackett, Sean doesn't tend to try and hide things from his injury list.
Yeah.
So you're going to know. If Judy's not going to play, they'll probably tell us over the weekend. So it'll be a first game back. So, I mean, the big thing that's hurting us right now is Dulcich is.
No. Yes.
Greg Dulcich at UCLA, baby.
And we get torched by tight ends.
Yep.
Well, we got 2
You do.
that are still really good.
Yes.
But they're just not as fast as Gorgeous George is, as I call him. He's just really, really fast.
Yeah.
Now I wish we'd kept Albert O, but
I was wondering that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be an interesting game. Actually, I wish the game was in 2 weeks and not this week when you're in town, Sean, because that would be
I know.
watch.
That would be good. Yeah. I would love to see your face. My Commanders, put that left hand up, baby. Let's go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's go. The Washington Commanders. There it is.